Sup, everybody. It's MK Podcasts. Today we're going to be talking about Marvel and what they're doing right now. So, Keith, when you first hear Marvel, another Marvel movie coming out, what's your first impression?
I'm already annoyed at the
Yeah,
thought.
yeah.
Marvel movies, they aren't necessarily bad, but god dang, there's just way too many of them already. And just having the thought of another Marvel movie coming out, like if there was, already know Ant-Man and the Wasp is coming
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
But another one, like if I were to hear that another Marvel movie is coming out, it was just stop.
Yeah, okay. So here's the thing. I always get super excited when a Marvel movie comes out. Oh, that looks really good. But at this point, you got so many going. Like, okay, so you had Thor, then you had Black Panther, then you had Marvel's Avengers, now you have Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Too many.
That's four within like almost 6 months, and it's
ridiculous.
That's just crazy. I mean, I don't mind 2 a year. It would be good. I mean, it's still a little pushing it, but why are you giving us 4 within 6 months? Like, I feel like they're good movies. Don't get me wrong. I like them. I like the writing behind them. I like that sort of action. But why is there so many?
There doesn't need to be that many.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I haven't seen any of the new movies yet, and it's mainly due to the reason because I have no, not incentive. I just don't want to go see it because there's just too many.
You're too flooded with it. There's only
Exactly,
so much
yeah.
Marvel, and I hear this from so many people. I went and saw the new Avengers, and I was like, oh, I really like it. But my sister was like, yeah, but I don't want to go see another Marvel movie.
Exactly, yeah.
It's why are they pushing out so many?
It's too many Marvel movies. They just exactly. I feel like they need to space it out more because it seemed like right after Black Panther, Infinity War came out.
Yeah, it was
and
right there.
after Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp came out. It's like, give us a break. Seriously, I mean, give time for other movies to come in because one of these days I feel like it's just going to be one too many Marvel movies and no one's going to go see it anymore. And people are just going to stop watching Marvel movies. So.
But the thing is, though, is like, even like, look at this new Spider-Man. If you didn't see any of the Iron Mans, you wouldn't know what's going on during it. Like,
exactly.
You'd still have some idea. So you have to watch all of them in order to understand the next movie. So, like,
Yeah.
I found myself, I could have went and seen the new Avengers that came out that night, but I didn't see the Thor or Black Panther. So I had to wait, like, I don't know, 2 months before I watched those two, before I watched the new Avengers, and it's kind of just a buzzkill because they come out so often. I wish they'd do like what Star Wars does and give quite a break. Like Star Wars is doing one a year, and then they had 2 close together, but then now we're have to wait 2 years for another Star Wars.
Yeah, and see that's kind of good because in the middle of that break, they start building hype for it. People are wanting a new Star Wars movie, and it's like, oh, I can't wait to see the new Star Wars movie. Then here comes the trailer, and boom, everybody's excited. But for the Marvel, it's just like, oh, it's another Marvel movie. Yippee.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel when I see another Marvel movie trailer.
Yeah, and
like,
I feel
wow,
they need to come up with something new. It's like the same type of thing over and over again. Bad guy tries to destroy the world, and it's a couple. See, there's so many, like a couple Captain Americas ago. I don't even know which one. It's like the world was ending, S.H.I.E.L.D. was falling apart. Where was Iron Man? Iron Man just was absent.
Just wasn't there.
Like, why are you throwing all this at the audience and not connecting everything together? So I think they either need to come up with something unique or go back to the original ones. The original ones had quite a nice feel to them. It was probably because they were a little bit newer, but at that time Marvel was just coming out. But it gives you a sense of, okay, there's a whole new storyline. There's a whole new area of the Marvel universe that's unlocked. And I think it's just wide open right now. And it's just like everyone's trying to connect everything together. Show us something new in the Marvel universe that we haven't seen yet.
And I do you remember the original Spider-Man
trilogy?
Yeah. Those were like my favorite Marvel movies, like almost of all time. And then you come out with like The Amazing Spider-Man, which I didn't personally like as much.
I never seen any of those. I never saw them.
I didn't like them as much. I wouldn't really recommend them. And then the new Homecoming came out, and Homecoming ties into with this Marvel universe that they have made now. But the other Spider-Mans, they don't. Like, there's this whole thing with like the Marvel multiverse and stuff like that. So I can understand that these are actual different Spider-Mans and like different.
Well, they put him as a high schooler, and that's how they are in the comics. So I know a lot of hardcore comic people really like that. I'm personally not into comics, but I like that they added that in. I'm like I said, I liked the new Spider-Man, but there's just so many, and you gotta have them all connected in, because if you get behind, it's like digging yourself out of debt, man. You have to stay on top of it. So I wish they would get an influx of new ideas, not just, hey, let's make as much money as possible. Because like, I love the Doctor Strange. I really love that one. And I love the new Avengers. I love the new Thor, but the Black Panther I liked, but it wasn't fabulous. But I felt like I just had to watch it. I hate feeling like I have to watch a movie beforehand.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. Like, I really want to watch the new Avengers because it brings Guardians of the Galaxy, Doctor Strange, all the Avengers, and they bring them all together. I'm like, that's such a cool idea. But then again, I haven't seen any of the Thors. I've seen the first Captain America, not any of the other ones. I saw the first Avengers and nothing after that. I've seen all the Iron Man movies, but like, I have to watch Black Panther. I have to watch all the other Captain America movies. I have to watch all the other Thors just to understand what the heck is gonna go on in this movie.
And there's so many movies. Like, that's gonna take you forever. And if you don't start now, you're just gonna get more and more movies behind because they're producing for every 6 months.
Exactly.
Like, give us a break. Come on.
And I feel like it's just. I don't want to watch all the movies just to understand one movie. Now, if I really wanted to go on a Marvel spree, I can understand it. But I don't have any reason, or I don't want to really just go and watch every single Marvel movie. I could watch the Iron Man movies again because those are my favorite.
Yeah, I love Iron Man. Yeah.
I'm not going to go watch every single new Marvel movie just to understand the newest one.
And that's the thing. Like, I love Iron Man. Yeah. And I would love to just go straight through and watch all the Iron Mans. But with like Captain America, so much happens in between each one. You couldn't just sit through and watch all the Captain America movies because you loved Captain America. You would have to watch the interconnecting movies. Otherwise, you won't be able to know what's going on. Like
Iron Man 3 ties in to, I believe, the first Avengers. And they throw that in there. Like, there's this one part where in Iron Man 3 where Iron Man is like having like PTSD from Avengers.
Yeah.
And he's reminded of that like throughout the movie. And it's like, if I haven't seen Avengers, I would have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So you would have to watch, like, if you were to watch all three Iron Mans, you would have to watch Avengers before Iron Man 3 just to kind of understand what happened, really.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I don't want to have to feel like I'm just a consumer. When I go watch a movie, I want to go there because I'm having a fun time.
Yeah.
And I really just, when Marvel was first coming out, I really liked it. And when the third Avengers, the most recent Avengers came out, I was super hyped to go see it. And I just dove into Marvel, and I just watched all these Marvel movies, everything I could get my hands on. And it was an absolute blast because I really just felt like a fan. But when they just come out so often, you're no longer a fan, but more of like, you want to go watch it because someone at school will say something and ruin the movie for you. So you kind of want to watch it, but at the same time, you're like, this just seems same old to me.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no real joy, I guess, when new Marvel movies comes out or new trailers. Like, it's just another Marvel movie. There's nothing exciting about that.
Yeah.
But then you see something like a movie that hasn't come out in a long time, and then all of a sudden there's like a sequel to it or something like that, like the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, after so many years, and then here comes The Force Awakens. It's like, holy
and
crap,
everyone just freaks out.
Wars.
Yeah.
Whereas Marvel is just like, it's a new trailer. That's good. A new Marvel movie. That's cool. So yeah,
just give us something new. Give us something exciting. I want that, oh my gosh moment when you see the trailer. You know, it's kind of just like, oh, Marvel. Like when I saw, anytime I see a Star Wars trailer for pretty much anything, and probably because I'm a Star Wars geek, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. And it could just be so simple, but you're so excited. Marvel, like even the Avengers, I saw it and I was like, oh, cool, another Marvel movie. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, Keith,
exactly.
We gotta go see that.
Yeah,
you lose
I
that
totally
hype when you do so many just things.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. There needs to be more space in between Marvel movies, and didn't they say like they lined out like 20 more Marvel movies to make?
They are making Marvel movies for this foreseeable future, is my understanding.
It's just way too many. I mean, space them out. One Marvel movie like every year or something. I mean,
Yeah,
at least
yeah.
maybe 2. Maybe that's stretching a little bit far, but seriously, like 4 in under a year.
I mean,
is ridiculous.
Yeah, I would say you could do 3. One in the winter, one at the end of spring, one at the end of summer. I mean, that's a little pushing it for me, but you could do that and have one TV show. Now they got all these branches of TV shows.
Yeah,
and it's just overdone. And I don't care if you do it for the foreseeable future, but give me space. Because eventually I'm going to be like, oh, a Marvel movie sounds great. But when I go to watch it, I now have to watch 3-4 other movies before I can go watch that one.
And that might be like what they're trying to do, is so people spend more money to get all the other movies just so they understand the newest movie.
Yeah, well, it helps out in Netflix's business, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
So Keith, what would you rate Marvel as a company or as a brand right now?
Right now, I like what they're doing. I like how they're actually building a universe from the movies. If you think about it, they got Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and they're all connected in this one universe that they have built through movies. Honestly, I really like what they're doing. But then again, they're making way too many movies all in one time. There's just not enough space in between them to where it builds enough hype for them.
Okay. Yeah.
And 2, I have no want to really go see anymore, mainly because of that reason.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'd probably give it, as of right now, a 7. A 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going 7 as well.
Okay.
And maybe about 7 because we talked about how many they come out, but you got to really think about what Marvel's made.
Exactly.
And a big thing for me is actors, and I love the actors they put in Marvel. I mean, they're really good actors. I'm not a huge fan of Scarlett Johansson, but when you can only think of one actor you really dislike out of the entire thing they've made, look at how we're just talking about how many movies they made. That's a lot of actors, a lot of people going through. So when you can only think of really one you dislike, that's very good casting.
Oh yeah.
And I do like what they did with their universe. I think that's really fabulous. And I just love the variety Marvel gives. Yes, you have to kind of watch them all, but there's so much. There's Iron Man, who's a super genius. So if you feel you're really smart and kind of don't fit in because you feel you're smart, you're just not as socially adaptable as everyone else, but you're really intelligent, maybe Iron Man suits you well because you feel like Iron Man's misunderstood. Or maybe if Doctor Strange is the same way, but no matter who you are, you kind of have a superhero to model after yourself. And I think that's so cool, and that's something that Marvel does really well, because you have a hero you can look at and be like, hey, that's pretty much me. I think that's super cool that they do that. Kind of gives myself and other people just a model of, hey, I could be like that, or maybe you don't want to be like that. It can kind of help you grow in character a little bit. But again, too many movies coming out.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think they just need to wean it back a little bit. But I like the directing. I like what they're doing casting-wise. Just don't make it so many movies. Give us a break. Give us a breather.
You need to build up some hype for all the other Marvel movies to come out. I mean, if you make so many at one time, the hype for each one just becomes less and less and less.
Yeah.
But the more you space out, the more people are actually going to start wanting Marvel movies. And so I know they make. I wish they wouldn't make so many TV shows. I guess maybe they're miniseries. I think a lot of miniseries could be very, very fun. I think you can make some really cool ones, but just cut back on how much you're throwing at us. Because they have Iron Fist. Is that Marvel or is that DC?
I don't know, but there's so many Marvel. You could get on Netflix and you can just see the
they have
quantity of
Marvel
TV shows and miniseries.
Marvel Defenders, I think. There's Marvel. What is the one where there's about all the kids that are what is it called? It was called something, and that was a big thing for a while. And they have the new Marvel, which is like Cloak and Dagger. I think that's Marvel, actually. They got Iron Fist. They got Luke Cage. So there's like a whole bunch.
Yeah, they got a whole bunch. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm kind of glad they don't actually weave it into the movies because
but I
then
think
that
they do.
would be
I think it's
ridiculous.
not like you're not needed, but I think there's little background things that come out, you know?
Yeah, that's true, yeah. I mean, Luke Cage was the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D., and he had his own spin-off TV show. But I mean, like, you don't really see anything about like the other things, but it does kind of like all fit in together, like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. one, and they all fit in somehow, just not as much as like the movies fit in with the other movies.
So we're both giving it a 7. Marvel, you're doing great. Just wean it back a little bit. Give us some breathing room. We don't want to be smothered. This is M&K Podcast. Thanks for listening. Subscribe below, and see you next time.
Yep. Thank you for listening.